So here we are. Been making myself a tow bar so that it's actually low enough for, you know, tow my caravan and everything, because having fitted the parabolic springs, everything's a lot higher. So it's a good 2 inches higher. There's no weight in the back, but I needed to get the tow ball, this thing here, down a lot lower to what it was. Otherwise the caravan would be riding upwards, if you like. You know, the back end of the caravan would be dragging on the floor. So I've got myself a drop plate, which I'll be fitting on here. And then this that I've made up is a bracing bar. It goes up underneath behind it and bolts to the bottom of this plate down here. This bit here also acts as a spacer to come away, although this has got a spacer on it. It's got a spacer there, so I'll have 2 spacers because the Alco hitch is quite large, and although this is made to have enough clearance between the ball and whatever it's bolted to, I just wanted that extra bit of clearance, you know what I mean, so that when things are turning on here, nothing catches, nothing gets in the way. That's the idea of it anyway. So we'll get on and bolt the plate on and bolt this on, get it all bolted up. Right, let's get underneath here. Already, you won't see this from the camera angle, but these 2 bolts here are long bolts and they go right through the rear cross member, and they're long enough at the end for this. They bolt into here, and 2 nuts just go on the end of that. So they go on there, and I'll just loosely fit 2 nuts. By the way, this plate itself is already bolted up flat and tight, top and bottom, so that that's firm. And then this stabilising bracket that I've made goes against the bolts and the back of the cross member on 2 extra bolts on the same, 2 extra nuts rather, on the same bolts. Now I could put washers behind them, but I don't think I'll bother. But they're on there. Also, I'd like to point out that behind this cross member, I've made up 2 plates to go behind these bolts on the opposite side, so they're not just pulling or pushing onto the cross member itself. So the load is spread, you know, with some thick quarter plate. So now we need to put the front bit on the other plate. Get it out from under there. So this now will go up and on there. One bolt, 2 bolts on that. I've actually got some washers to go behind this, and a couple of nuts. Now then, I know what everyone's thinking. This is hanging down a long way, and you don't want to be going green laning with it like this. So just leave them all a little bit loose, not really tight and tight. So now you can see from that plate that I need to bolt this onto here, but also that acts as a bit of a spacer, and there's a spacer here, so these can be undone. And then the long bolts bolt through the whole thing with a washer and a nut at the back of them both. And also the bits of angle line that I used were sort of second-hand stuff that I had lying around. They just happened to be the right angle and the right shape, and they had a couple of holes drilled in them here. Now I nearly cut them bits off, and I thought no, I'm going to leave them, because your breakaway cable can easily then clip into that, so that if anything does come off, you know what I mean, it's going to pull that, you know, it's going to be strong enough to stop it. But also what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean up this. This is my old plate, which used to sit there, and then I add this plate onto that to bring it down, but because of the springs I've gone up 2 inches, so I've needed to come down 2 inches, you know, with the thing. But anyway, this old plate, I'm going to put a D-ring in there in the middle of that, weld it up so that whenever I go green laning or off-road or anywhere, I can unbolt this, so the whole thing will come off in one. If I take them bolts out, under and from behind, and them two there, everything will just slide out onto the floor as in one piece. But even though if you're under there with the spanners anyway, it doesn't hurt, you know what I mean, to undo all of these. I should keep them greased so that they're all nicely and, you know, easy to get off. But this old plate, if I weld a D-ring onto here, and when I take that off, I can put this on. I'll cut that bit off there, so I won't be needing all of that. But then I can bolt that to here, so that I've got a D-ring sat somewhere here, you know, for towing things out or pulling out, or if I need pulling out. I often do need pulling out of somewhere. But that's the idea. So everything will looking nice now. Quite happy with that. Just need to tighten it all up before I put the caravan on the back of it, and weld a D-ring and clean that one up there, so I've got something to swap over with. So then Bob's your auntie. Just one thing, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, that'd be great, and also hit the like button, that would be great. And you can see many more videos just like this one. Don't get too bored of them, don't want you falling asleep, you know what I mean, but some of them can be quite informative, good to watch, and also a bit of fun in them sometimes.